Hi, okay, I'm back so I can show you this whole ice cream making process from start to finish. I have the coconut cream and coconut milk with the honey going here on about medium heat, so it will warm very slowly. It's not there yet. So while that's warming, I'm gonna break the eggs. I already have 3 going. I'm gonna do 3 more, just egg yolks. And when you separate eggs, again, just let the majority of the white roll out by itself. No need to switch it back and forth 100 times. And then that chalicé, which is the connector between the whites and the yolk, will just come right off if you use the edge of the shell to just cut it with your finger. I just want to whip them so they're very creamy looking. And I see that this is starting to get a little warm. It's starting to bubble. So I'm going to turn it down because I don't want it to boil. I just want it at a simmering stage, at a almost scald. So there's a little bit of bubbles going around the edges, and that's it. So this is how you temper it. I'm putting a towel, if you don't know this trick. It's a little bit of a damp towel, and I'm putting it under the bowl, and it's going to steady the bowl so it won't spin around while I'm stirring. Now, to temper the egg yolks, you need to be very careful that you don't cook them. I'm stirring the egg and adding a little bit of the cream at a time. And I want to test the sides of the bowl with my hand to see if it's getting hot. Because we want to temper the eggs, which is to bring them to a certain temperature, but we don't want to cook the eggs. And now this feels warm. When I touch the sides of the bowl, I like to use a metal bowl because it conducts the heat best. And you can see there's no like weird scrambly parts. You don't want the egg to cook because the egg is going to act as a thickener. So I have the heat all the way down to like the lowest setting, not simmer, but the lowest setting. And I'm going to add the eggs back into the coconut milk and cream. And we just stir until it gets thick. Some people like to do this on a double boiler. I've gotten very comfortable with doing it on direct heat. Do whatever you're more comfortable with. You could use the bowl that had the egg yolks in it and pour the entire cream mixture into the egg yolks and then add some water to this pan and keep the water on a simmer. You don't want it to boil and you don't want it to touch the bottom of the bowl. You want to have some space between the top of the water and the bottom of the bowl because you're just using it as indirect heat if you choose to do it that way. I prefer to just do, as I said, on direct heat. I got very comfortable doing this commercially for a long time, and I've made pastry cream this way, lemon curd this way, buttercream when I'm cooking the egg whites and sugar for a Swiss meringue. I do it this way. Just have to keep an eye on it. Don't walk away from it. I used to have a young pastry chef assistant named Ben who would start the pastry cream and then go outside for a cigarette and come back to a big pot of scrambled eggs. Young Ben. This has been going for about 10 minutes and it's starting to feel a little thicker as I stir it. I'm feeling some resistance as I'm pushing the whisk around, but it's not quite there yet. Again, you have to be patient. This has been about 10 minutes and it's probably gonna at least need another 5 or 10. It took about another 5 minutes. I turned the heat off and I'll show you the trick. Again, I can tell you how much time, but this is really what you want to look for. You want it to have this thick consistency that when you dip a spoon in and you wipe it with your finger, that line stays. That means it's thick enough. So I'm just moving it off the heat. I'm going to add the vanilla, and this is just a really nice organic vanilla extract. I'm gonna do a couple capfuls. That's about a tablespoon. And stir that in. Oh, and it just smells so good with that vanilla. Always add the flavoring at the end because you don't want the flavoring to cook out because it's on the heat for quite a while. And I have my bowl ready. Just gonna pour it into the bowl. And I'll cover it with plastic wrap with it touching, because this is just like dairy. It's gonna make a skin as it cools, and you don't want that skin. That's my puppy because it's thundering out. She's sad. Okay, now if you want to make this go a little faster, you can set this bowl inside another bowl of ice water and put the whole thing in the refrigerator, but you want it cooled completely before you put it into your ice cream maker.